think ego always gets in the way of a really cool, calm decision that you have to make. A decision that you have to ask yourself, like, in 5 years, in 10 years, will I, how do I put it, be proud of making that decision? What really matters in life? And what do I know will matter to me in the next 5 years? Will it be the ego that gets in between me and where I need to be, and how enhanced and how enriched will that place be when I get there? Because this is the thing. I don't think people around me are thinking about how many trees are gonna be there when they reach to their Neverland. I don't want just one tree where I can just sleep under the shade that the tree gives me. I don't want just one money tree. I don't want the bare minimum, because that requires, I think, so much more pretense and so much more difficulty, because then you have to, like I said in the beginning, think about how you feel when you're 25, and then sit there and think, damn. And I don't want Leilani to say these words in the future. So I don't want to say when I'm 25, I should have forgave that person. I would have been in a different situation. I should have done this differently. I should have chose to have a baby, but I didn't. I should have started to get my money right. I should have not paid attention in class. I should have went to school and got a degree. I should have, not given up on myself and my dreams and brushing teeth on the internet, somewhere on the internet. Shout out to you if you've seen that edit. But yeah, I don't want to end up being 25, which is around the corner, to be honest, because I'm entering my 20s in 2 months, 2.5 months, and my entering into adulthood, my arrival to adulthood and the working space has really made me think about the decisions that I have to make and where I will end up in life. I think the biggest thing for me this year was to see adults that I used to look up to, and I don't look up to them anymore because they don't do what I want to do. No one really does what I am doing or want to do one day. So I've kind of given up on the whole role model thing. But that being said, the people that I was influenced by, I saw where they ended up in their next 5 years when they were my age. Sorry if you don't like English. But yeah, so best believe, like, I realized the people that influenced me the most, we were in the same room. We ended up in the same room. And that might not be a big deal. That might not be a big deal to someone who, you know, hasn't had a taste of like going through life and its hard times and hitting rock bottom, but it should give you an idea, as to say, you know, speaking from someone who, you know, has gone through the most, just alone and gotten herself out of it. Trust me when I say that don't undermine yourself, because if you are in the same environment, if you are in the same room as the people that you are influenced by, think about it. Which rooms do you want to end up standing in? Which rooms do you want to find yourself, you know, being embraced in for your work or whatever you do value? I don't want to end up 25 and feel like the rooms that I'm in don't reflect my self-worth as someone who has incredible work ethic and discipline and drive, self-driven. These things have been things that are proven to be true because of my actions. These are not things that I'm just saying like, be self-driven. No, guys, do you know what that actually means? Do you actually actively do that? Because the people who say that are the people who work hard to be able to say that to you and to get into spaces where they give you that advice. My gap year. To be honest, I'm very, very, very grateful that I took this year, and I know that just that alone, me following my gut and trusting myself with that, has made me a proud 25-year-old. I know that when I'm 25, when I'm 30, the decision that I made this year will not ever become something negative. I don't think. Even if, you know, I think one of the biggest fears or just things I don't want to fail at is how do I put it? Like I said, I don't want to look back and be disappointed in myself for not following my heart and not trusting myself 100%. And I never want to dilute the fact that I make my decisions with my heart. This year has really taught me a lot about myself and the things that I'm interested in and just what I value in life and what I really want. Because again, coronavirus, life is short. You know, rest in peace if you have lost a loved one to the virus. If you've lost a loved one to mental illness, and you know, just grief, suicide, my heart and my prayers and my kindness and just all the hugs and kisses that I could possibly conjure up goes out to you. I honestly I don't want myself to be 30 years old and not have a story to tell. I don't want to be boring. I don't want to be brainwashed. I don't want to fight to be bold. I don't need to be aggressive. Gap year. Gap year. A gap year, guys. A gap year. I think entering into life outside of, high school just really tear me up right now, because damn, I really made a good decision this year. I made a good decision last year to get to this point. I made a decision I didn't even really think about. No, let me correct myself. I didn't make a decision last year to take a gap year and understand that this was the end result. I just knew there was things were gonna happen. I had ideas, I had things that I wanted to do. I didn't know that this moment right here was going to be a result. This moment, meaning just how content I am with myself, with who I am, with where I'm going. I've proven myself to myself, and I think that's something very intimate. And I'm only 19, and moving into a path of entrepreneurship and a path of following my heart, and the path of knowing what I want in life, and minding my business has really shown me that, dude, I outdid myself. And I don't mean that to brag, but I mean it in a sense of working for myself. Just working for myself. And how I realized this year that is such a possibility, and that I moved from understanding that to actually actively doing it, actively working for myself, actively paying attention to my work and how I can maneuver and how I can prove and how I can improve and how I can, fight and how I can sleep, and it's given me more to fight for. It's given me more to be passionate about. Because yes, I was passionate. Yes, I had all these things. Yes, I had all these plans. But honing it into the fact that I can do it for myself, and seeing myself actively do it for myself, the money is only going to make itself appear. That's what it is. I know that the money is gonna come. It's gonna come. But to know that I'm in a good space. Sorry. I'm in a good space, and I'm in a choo-choo train that's moving, that's grooving, that's happening, that's getting views, that's doing something, that's getting reactions, that's work ethic, that's showing me actively that this is me, this is what I do, this is what I stand for, this is my work, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I think the passion I have for just being self-employed, honestly. So